If you want to take admission to the BBA program offered by NMIMS, that is Narsee Monjee Institute of Management Studies, then you are in the right video. In this video, I'm going to discuss with you the various programs covered under NPAT. I shall also discuss with you the registration process, the exam fee for NPAT, including that for retakes, the NPAT exam structure, including the nitty-gritties involved in terms of, let's say, negative marking or movement across sections or the flow of the exam, etc. I shall indicate to you the fee that you may expect for your BBA program, and towards the end, I shall discuss with you some of the FAQs involved. Before we dive in, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Vineet and I'm the co-founder of Succeed Easy Tutorials. We bring with us 30 years of tutoring experience. So if you want to target NPAT or SET or even IPMAT for your BBA admissions, then we shall be happy to help you achieve your dreams. Please do approach us. Let's dive in. NPAT, that is NMIMS test for programs after 12, is the official entrance examination for seeking admission to a diverse range of undergraduate programs offered at NMIMS in commerce, in economics, in international studies, in branding and advertising, in liberal arts, as well as in business maths. Now let's look at the NMIMS NPAT scores acceptability for the various programs. So the programs covered under NPAT are: within commerce, you can do BBA or BCom or BSc Finance or BBA FinTech. In economics, you can do BSc Economics. In branding and advertising, you can do BBA in branding and advertising. You can do a BA in liberal arts, or you can go for international studies. You do your BBA in international business, or you can undertake either Bachelor in Business Management and Marketing or BBA Finance through NPAT. This is with particular reference to the NPAT 2025 scores. So let's now look at the important dates involved for NPAT 2025. The online registration started from 28th of February and the closure date is 26th of May 2025. The exam is an online computer-based test which you need to take at their respective test centers. The start date for the exam was 1st of March 2025. It is April now and you have time until 31st of May 2025 to take the exam. The merit list can be expected on the respective school's website by the first week of June 2025. Time is of essence. So let's now look at the steps to register for NPAT 2025. By the way, all this information is available on their website. So you just need to begin your registration by following the link on their website. You fill in your details, submit your details, then you enter your login credentials sent to you via email. You fill in the application and submit it, and then you pay the registration fee for the exam, and that's it. You are all set for the NPAT 2025. So the steps can be summarized as initial registration, then selection of the test category as well as the school program preferences, then application fee payment as well as selection of the test center. So you can take a screenshot of this if you want, or you can just visit their website to get everything from their website. Now there are important points to be discussed over here. So retakes are allowed in this. You can take 2 retakes in any selected category. That is the first main test plus 2 retakes. And it is important to note that the highest marks among the total attempts will be considered for respective school merit process. Once the main exam is done, you cannot add new school in the same category for retake, but you can add a new category of test. It is recommended that you register yourself for the test because otherwise you may miss out on getting a convenient date or slot for your test at the respective test centers, whichever center you choose. Alright? And strictly, there is no rescheduling or cancellation that is allowed by NMIMS. So please pay attention to this. Now let's get some hang of the fee. So as you can see on your screen, for NMIMS NPAT, these are the schools covered, and depending on the number of schools that you choose and depending on whether it is your first attempt or a retake, this is the matrix of the fee. That means for one school, for the first attempt you pay 2,000, and for retakes you pay another 2,000, and for the 2,000 for the second retake, right? And depending on the number of schools that you choose, this is the kind of matrix that you follow. So let's say for 3 schools, first attempt is 4,000, next is 4,000 and 4,000, and it goes on. So let's now look at the NPAT exam structure. NMIMS NPAT exam comprises three major sections: quantitative reasoning, which has 40 questions, followed by logical reasoning, another 40 questions, and verbal reasoning, further 40 questions. So total there are 120 questions which you need to attempt in 100 minutes. Total marks are 40, 40, 40, that is 120 marks for each section. So there are important caveats that you need to keep in mind before you take this exam so that you can make the right strategy for yourself. First of all, there is no negative marking. So it is suggested that you do not leave any question unattempted, because even if you go wrong, you don't stand to lose anything. By chance, you may get certain questions right. Secondly, before you move on to any section, you complete that section, but don't leave anything unattended there. Mark it and then leave. Secondly, the type of questions and difficulty level of the NPAT test is as per the SAT exam. It is similar to the SAT exam. There is a sample question paper that NMIMS has provided on their website. I'll post the link in the description. Thirdly, calculator is not allowed on the exam. You are not allowed to take a calculator to the exam. There is not even an online calculator that is allowed to you or that is made accessible to you on the exam. So what this means is that you need to be good with your arithmetic. You need to do your numbers properly. You need to learn tables, do your squares, cubes, square roots, cube roots, and in general, you should be very good to handle percentages. So if you need any help with that, we'll be happy to assist you. Please approach us. Further, let's look at the section order. So when you start the exam, you will be presented with the quantitative reasoning section. Then once you clear that, once you attempt that entire section, you move on to the next section, so that the next section will be the logical reasoning section, and then followed by verbal. Please note that you will not be able to go back from, let's say, verbal to logical, or from logical to quant, or from verbal to quant. That reverse movement will not be permissible. So what this means is that before you move from one section to another, you complete all the questions that you may have marked to attempt later in that section. You will be able to move across questions in a particular section. For example, if you are in quantitative reasoning section and there are 40 questions, you can do the first question and go maybe to the last question, that is the 40th question, and come back to the second question and so on. You can juggle in between the section, but juggling among the sections will not be permissible, but you can juggle between, you can move between the questions in between a section. I hope I'm very, very clear on this. Another pointer is that movement within a section is allowed, but you cannot go back to a completed section. I've just highlighted that point. So NMIMS does not disclose the sectional cutoff marks or the total marks. So what this means is that even though we may guess the sectional cutoff marks or the total marks based on our experience with so many students, but what this basically means is that let's not guess, let's try our level best to score maximum. And because these sectional cutoffs vary, my suggestion to you would be, let's not focus too much on the cutoff marks. Our entire focus should be to get 100% mark, to do all the questions right, maintain speed with accuracy, and we can help you with that. So let's now look at the fee and the intake for 2025 batch. Now they have given the structure for the 2024 batch, that is the last year batch. For the current 2025 batch, the details will be intimated at the time of admission. This is what their website says. So this is a screenshot from their website. As you can see, for the BBA program, for the Mumbai campus, the intake is 720 and the fee per year is 3,60,000 rupees. And this is how you can read the matrix. Let's now look at some of the NPAT FAQs, which is again available on their website. Can I apply to multiple programs? Yes, you can apply to maximum of 5 programs. Which programs can I apply to without math? You have these many programs: BBA Branding and Advertising, BBA International Business, BA Liberal Arts, BBA Management and Marketing. Do I need to register separately for each campus? No, you can indicate your campus preferences during the common registration process. I'll not read this. You can just take a screenshot of this. All right. Remember that you will need to take NPAT. You cannot apply through SAT, ACT. NPAT is the recommended exam if you want to take admission to the BBA program offered by NMIMS. So with that, we come to the end of this session. Best wishes to you for your NPAT examination. If you need help with it, we'll be happy to help you ace the exam. In the next video, I'm going to discuss with you the quantitative reasoning section from the 2025 NPAT sample paper. See you in the next video. Happy learning.